To believe Donald Trump is to believe that this is a conquered city, Aurora, Colorado. To believe Donald Trump is to believe that this luxury resort where close to 10,000 of his supporters gathered today joyfully and peacefully in celebration of his re-election campaign is to believe that it is on city ground taken over by a Venezuelan gang. Now, Aurora police for months have said that the reality is that this gang is relatively small. They've identified 10 members of Tren de Aragua. They've arrested 9 of them. They say that their impact on the city is isolated. But Donald Trump is now focusing a key piece of his presidential campaign on spreading the word around the country that Aurora, Colorado is a war zone.
I will rescue Aurora and every town that has been invaded and conquered. These towns have been conquered. I will liberate Colorado. I will give you back your freedom and your life.
Trump's appearance in Colorado, state he's unlikely to win, does fulfill a campaign promise that he made, that he would come here. And he promised that when he started talking about the supposed takeover of Aurora by the gang, which he paired with false racist claims that Haitian migrants in Springfield, Ohio, are eating dogs and cats. Today, Trump's rally focused on outlining his immigration agenda, the largest deportation in American history. Trump says that he has a plan for local police, the National Guard, and the U.S. military to remove every single person in this country without documentation. That would be, by his own estimate, more than 20 million people. And today, he even expanded the scope of who he wants rounded up and taken out of America, saying that he wants to remove some legal protections from immigrants who are here legally at this time so that they too can be removed from the country. Trump said that he's going to invoke a little-used federal law to declare migrants enemies so that they can be rounded up and deported more quickly. Operation Aurora is what he says that it will be called, and he says it will begin here.
We will not be conquered.
Donald Trump came to Aurora, Colorado, claiming the city of 400,000 people had been conquered by a Venezuelan gang. Clearly false, and the thousands who gathered at a luxury resort in Aurora to hear Trump knew that. Many in the crowd surely also knew that Northwest Aurora has struggled with crime and poverty for decades, long before the recent immigrant surge, even as Trump claimed otherwise about that area.
Members of the gang now beat down doors with hammers and engage in open gun battles with rival groups in this once peaceful, beautiful, pretty crime-free community.
Trump falsely claimed the gang has taken over Aurora, then expanded that exaggeration statewide.
A Venezuelan gang with the most sophisticated rifles, weapons, and guns that anybody has ever seen would be taking over your state.
Trump repeated an unsupported claim that the gang has weaponry beyond that of the U.S. military.
Military-style weapons, sometimes better than our own military.
Trump misled on the impact of immigration on Denver health.
You're not going to get a room, when you go to hospitals, you're not going to get a room. Someday you don't know it because you hopefully won't need a hospital. But if you do, you're not going to be able to get in.
Denver Health says it has no capacity issues, and no one is ever turned away if they bring themselves to the hospital. Trump misleadingly claimed that Denver Health was quote-unquote overwhelmed by migrants. Denver Health says less than 2% of their patient visits last year were new immigrants. And Trump lied about the effort to remove him from the Colorado ballot for the January 6th insurrection.
And yet it was pollers who led the move to take me off the ballot because I was leading in the polls against all of the Democrats.
It was not Democratic Governor Jared Polis. It was a group of anti-Trump Republicans and unaffiliated voters who worked with a nonprofit to unsuccessfully try to get him off the ballot. Trump, of course, is still on the Colorado ballot, where public polling shows him trailing Kamala Harris by 9 to 15 points. Today, Trump also said a poll shows him winning Colorado.
We're very close. In fact, in one poll, we're leading by a little bit.